Hello, everybody. It's your buddy, Real Slavic Bear, and I'm here with a unscripted video update that's gonna talk a bit about just like streaming and what we're doing going into the next year and how we feel about streaming in general. So, for those who don't know, I have been streaming since 2016. So, well, on Twitch, I've technically been streaming since 2015 if we count the Hitbox.tv era. Remember Hitbox.tv? Exactly. Nobody does. Anyway, since 2016 on Twitch, so that makes it this summer. It was 7 years, according to some simple math, and um, there is a sort of discussion to be had about what I'm doing with streams, what I want to do with streams, what I want out of streams, and there's a lot of eyes here. And before I talk about anything, I do want to say that I appreciate each and every person who has ever tuned into a stream. I want to say that I appreciate all the regulars who regularly tune in and interact with the streams. You all are very much appreciated, and I cannot say enough how happy I am that regardless how many people are watching, I have never once been ashamed of the community that watches me. I have never once felt bad and annoyed about, oh, this is my community, as I've seen with a lot of other streamers. So I just want to like get that first out there that you all are great and amazing, and that will always be true. Now, in terms of like what I actually want out of streams, like life is not a meritocracy. You don't get to work hard and get rewarded all the time. You don't get to enjoy the things you deserve as a person, because life is not like that. Life is not fair. There's a lot of luck involved. There's a lot of skill involved too. You can always game a system. Many people have, but there's always compromises. If you want to have a community, you can, I want to say maybe control isn't the rule. If you want a community you can moderate, and a community you're not worried about, and you don't want bad actors, that means you push away a lot of people. If you behave a certain way, that means you push out a certain number of people. If you stream certain things, that means you push out a certain number of people. If you're from a certain time zone or in a certain language, you push away certain people. Everything you choose to do has several doors that it closes. So what did I choose to do with streaming? Well, I chose to be a bit genuine. I don't like bullshitting. Sometimes I will ham it up, but I like to pride myself into being a no nonsense, no bullshit person when it comes down to it. I might not be energetic. I might not be super hyper, super friendly, super parasocial, and whatnot. And I'm fine with that. That's not what I want. I don't want like a hobby to turn into a job. But after 7 years, you do feel kind of like, oh, I feel like I could have accomplished a bit more. I feel like I could have done a little bit more with all of this. And I've tried a bunch of things. I've tried random streams. I've tried scheduled streams. I've tried playthroughs. I've tried talking with developers and showing their stuff up on the game, exploring indie games, focusing on genres, all sorts of things. I've tried a bunch of things, and I've looked at analytics as well. I've looked at time zones, I've looked at tags, I've looked at a bunch of things to figure out, hey, what is working, what is not. And during COVID, more people were watching streams because people were stuck at home. What else are you gonna do? You're working from home. What, you have two monitors? You're not gonna use one to watch streams? What are you, some kind of nerd? Of course you are. And that's a lot of what a lot of people did. But it's not really like, oh, I'm in the wrong time zone, or oh, I'm streaming the wrong content. There are people who stream in my slot. There are people who stream the content I stream. They get more views. They produce great content. They do this full time as well. There are also people who stream 3 hours at a time. That's also good. There are people who stream 6 hours at a time. like I said, this is unscripted, so there is a bit rambling going on around here. But what I'm basically getting at is, I am going to not be doing full playthroughs. That's the big thing that I'm saying. Because I'm kind of feeling like it's a waste of time. Not in the sense of how it's a bad content and I'm wasting my energy on these things. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you commit to a thing, you commit to a bit, and that's all your slots. We're doing December now. That's most of my slots. We play Legend of Zelda. That's most of my salts, most of my slots, and it just gets eaten up. And there's no room to pivot. There's no room to maneuver. So, in 2024, I'm just gonna wing it. There's no plan in the sense of, oh, we're gonna be focusing on this genre now, and we're gonna be covering these games, and we're gonna be like, we're gonna expertise ourselves into something. Nah, we're done. We're not doing that anymore. It worked. It used to work. It no longer does. At some point, full playthroughs were the thing. There was like, boom, bunch of people are watching. Now it doesn't. I don't know why. Just people moved on. So we're just gonna be winging it. We're gonna be like, here are the slots which I stream. It's 10 p.m. Swedish to 1 a.m. Swedish on these days. I'm streaming on them. You can tune in. What is it? I don't know. Whatever I feel like. It doesn't matter at this point. With the exception of Dragon Days. Dragon Days I'm keeping because Dragon Days have been very fun. That's like the only reason. I could say like, oh, Dragon Days do on the metrics so much better and there's more engagement and more chat. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just fun. I don't give a shit. At this point, I just do not give a shit. It's just, I enjoy doing it and prepping for it and getting people over, and this model is pretty cool as well. So that's one thing we're gonna be doing. But I guess it's also like kind of good to tell you all where I kind of stand in all of this. Like mentally, like spiritually or whatever. And so I was thinking, hey, I should start another creative project. I should, maybe, mess around with Godot, maybe learn some things, maybe get more creatively fulfilled and do another side project. And I was thinking about that, and I kind of thought about, well, this is creatively fulfilling doing streams. And I just want to keep trying to do that. So next year is going to be year 8 of streaming, and I'm just going to focus on that, like trying to get that a bit more out there, trying to have that be the side thing and the hobby I'm doing, and playing it more by ear. And now you're probably all thinking, well, Bear, it's the most important thing is that you have fun, and you are right. That is the most important thing. If I'm not having fun, why are we doing this? This is all for my entertainment, actually. Well, it's not really just for my entertainment. It's kind of like, I'm entertained by entertaining others. I want to like give something back. If we have the mathematical value of me, one person, bringing happiness to 2 people, we're getting a net gain on positivity online. And it's not 2 people, it's like 15 to 20 people usually watching, and that's a big deal. That's I stream for 2 to 3 hours. That's 2 to 3 hours of people's days. You have 24 hours in a day, you're spending 3 with me. Like, that's a big deal. 15 people. You know how many people 15 is when you put them all in the room? If you were at a party, there were 15 people in the room, you'd be like, fuck, there's a lot of people here. It's a lot, and you gotta get desensitized. When you look at like other streamers, you're like, holy shit, like 100? 200? 1,000? What's going on here? You know how many people? That's more people than in some concerts, man. And you kind of like drop it to metrics because eventually you're just like, oh, it's going up, it's going down, what's the engagement rate, blah, 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 blah. Who gives a shit? Legitimately, who gives a shit? I don't want to get to that spot. This isn't some kind of you know, backup plan B, become streamer full time. I like my job. I ain't streaming full time, but you know, something does not have to be a job for you to want to be successful at it. I think that's one thing I want to like. And what is for me the measure of my success is, I want to have a big enough stream relative to the effort and time I put into it, which is probably an unreasonable goal because it doesn't really just depend on me. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on a lot of things. It depends on the Twitch algorithm. It depends on who you know, who you're working with, who you discover, whether you're recommended, whether you get rated. It depends on a million things that I have no input on. Like you could be a big deal somewhere else, and you're like, oh, what's this Twitch thing? Oh, whoops. Well, I guess because I'm a big deal on, Twitter or YouTube or whatever, and I have a bunch of people, it's whatever. Like it doesn't matter. What I'm getting at is, I don't really know how to further increase the size of the channel. It's been getting pretty slow. I'm gonna be real. Like I wanted to grow because I put a lot of effort into it. And when I say grow, like I said, like I want to get to somewhere like around 100. I want to get enough so I can get like Twitch partners, so I can feel like, hey, I've done something. And it's a double-edged sword. We could actually reach something like, oh shit, Bear has like 100 viewers. Oh, it's gotten like constant for a month. Oh, he got Twitch partnered. And then after a month, it called like creators for some reason, and it's back to 20, and then it looks very sad because you're a dude with a badge and you have 20 viewers, huh? That also sucks. Because nothing is permanent. Twitch isn't permanent. You're kind of like, ooh, chasing to be the big Twitch streamer, and then in a year Twitch dies and something like, I don't know, Streamerville pops up and everybody's like, oh yeah, big Streamerville person. Like, who knows? I think that's nobody knows what tomorrow holds. But what I want to basically get at is, now that we're off the rambling, I am not above asking for help. I am a person that very rarely asks for like actual genuine help because I like to do things on my own. And when I feel like I have reached a dead end, I go like, okay, I have no clue how to do this. I need somebody to help me. So, the last part of this video is me basically saying, if you enjoy the streams, if you think they're good, if you think they're valuable, if you think they have enriched your life in some way or another, at least a tiny smidge on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, I would earnestly appreciate if you could recommend watching the channel. If you could tell people like, hey, this streamer's cool, you should watch him. Hey, here's like a retweet. Here's like, hey, you post somewhere and say like, hey, Bear's a cool dude, he's showing off this cool thing, you should check him out. Or something like that. If you're a streamer, I would appreciate if you sent rates my way. That would also help a lot. If you could plug me and kind of be like, hey, Bear's kind of cool. Go check him out. I don't really want to ask for people to do that directly because it feels shitty. Imagine me going to somebody and being like, hey, can you pass me, some of your raids, please? Do me a solid. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's shit. I would never earnestly feel nice or well asking that of anybody. But the onus is on you, and there's other ways you can help. Aside from following and plugging and retweeting, capture clips, talk in the channel if you feel comfortable with it. Do whatever. There's obviously stuff I can do on my own as well. I can push YouTube shorts a bit more. I can try them TikTokies that the kids are doing. I can do some more clips myself. I could edit some stuff. There's things I can do. The problem is I don't really have virality. You know, I just can't play games, and sometimes cool things happen, and sometimes everybody's chill for 120 minutes, and we're all like, yeah, that was a chill time, good night, I'm up to sleep. Yeah. So yeah, I can't grow this place without you. And the good thing about that is, if you're recommending me, and telling people to check me out, that means more people like you will come in. Which is always better than being beholden to the algorithm, because the algorithm that recommends and stuff like that, that can get anybody in. And we're pretty picky. I'm making things harder by myself by being picky and being like, that person seems like a shitheel, I'm just gonna ban them. I ain't bothering with that, man. I don't care if the metrics go down. But if you recommend people, you know they might fit in or enjoy this kind of stuff. And I'm not gonna particularly like blame like, oh, if I was this kind of streamer it would work, or if it was that kind of streamer it would work, and I'm this little underdog. There's stuff I can still do on my end, but I also need help. And what is the end goal here? Obviously, I have a steady job. I'm happy with it. It's gonna be my career for the foreseeable future of my life. And obviously, when you have a person who does this as a hobby and a person who does this for a living, you should help the person who does this for a living, because it would be good if the person who does this for a living would also be able to live off of it. But, instead of it being one or the other, maybe we can all make it. Because what I basically kind of just want to do is I want to feel like this is all worth it, and I feel like I can reach out to more people and make it worth it for them, because, what I bring to the table is nothing necessarily unique, but it's my flavor of me and commentary. So in the end, while it is not unique in the grand scheme of things, there is only one bear, and I think this one bear in people's lives would be beneficial. And that's kind of like everything I really want to talk about. This kind of went into rambly off territory. And I hope nobody feels sad about what I'm saying. This isn't like, oh, if the 5th next year doesn't work, we're quitting streaming. We all know that's not true. We all know I ain't quitting. I'm too stubborn to quit. But I also don't expect things to just happen because I am there, because I'm present, because I'm doing a thing, because I don't believe in meritocracy. I don't believe that the things I have are necessarily the things I deserve. Whether it's, I don't believe that the parts I'm successful in is necessarily just deserved by virtue of me doing it. It has been a lot of luck and timing and things of like being at the right place at the right time and knowing the right people and so on. It's not just skill. If anybody ever tells you skill is rewarded, that's a big fat lie. That's not true. It is not. But we can help prop each other up. Because, if I get up, like if I that my arms are a weird thing. If I get, in a position of influence or whatever, like if I have enough clout to help people out, like we all know I will. we all know I'm gonna be like, oh, cool furry game or cool furry streamer or just cool person. I'm probably gonna boost people whenever I can. And that's not a reason to boost me necessarily. I'm just saying, we all know that I'm not gonna be wallowing in arrogance and being like, oh yeah, I'm a cool professional streamer, and that yeah. So that's about it. Hope you like my beach house. I bought it with my streamer money. That is not true. That is a virtual house. I will never own actual real estate in this modern era. I was born in the 80s. I don't have that in my life. But I have you guys in my life. If you watched this far, that means you care. And I'm very flattered that you do. And, 2023 has been a wild ride. 2023 has been so fucking stressful, man, for many reasons. But 2024 is probably also going to be fucking stressful for many reasons, but it's worth it at the end, because anything worth doing is hard, and I'm glad to have you all in my life. Um, I feel like I am a better person for having you all there in whatever capacity you are there. And if I can pay that back by, you know, improving your mood at least a little bit whenever I stream or whenever I do stuff, I'm happy. And I hope that 2024 treats you as well as it can. I know that, as I have said many times, life is not fair, and we all struggle in our own ways to get through life and the unique troubles we all face. And nobody can really offer a solution for you specifically, because you know best what your trials and tribulations are. But people can be there for you and help that weight be eased up at least a little bit. So I hope that you have someone in your life that at least takes a little bit of that weight off of your shoulders so that you can push through 2024 and subsequent years. And please be good to each other, because we're all that we have for each other. Like, if we're not there for each other, I don't think we have anybody else to rely on. It's just us and our closest people and friends. And I need some other closing words. I think those were actually pretty good closing words, but now I've added words on top of that, so now it's rambling off. So I'm just gonna end it with, please be excellent to each other. Have a nice 2024.